In this video, we will be discussing about forms of business organization, and out of that forms of business organization, we will be discussing about cooperative societies. Now, what is this cooperative societies? Cooperative means to work with others for mutual benefit. Cooperative means to work with others. Means to work, we have to work along with some other people. So cooperate, we have to cooperate with other people, means we have to work with some other people. And here cooperative society is the society which is formed according to Societies Act. The Societies Act, that is the 1912 Societies Act, this is formed, and accordingly this comes into existence. Since these are registered under Societies Act, that is why these are known as cooperative societies, and since this is formed with working with other people, means you have to work with some other people, that is why it is known as cooperative. So here, this is the meaning of cooperative, is to work with others for mutual benefit, generally these are them. And most of the time it's important is that cooperative societies are formed so that the middlemen, you can say the middlemen, most of the time they, you can say, indulge in huge profit, earning huge profit. So in order to avoid or to you can say so that the middlemen do not, you can say, charge exorbitant prices, people with common interest, people who do have common interest, they come together and form cooperative so that the work of the middleman is eliminated and they can benefit because of the elimination of the middleman. So in this way, the first you can find the meaning of cooperative, that is working with other for mutual benefit actually. And is even if there is no mutual benefit, there can be some way that the cooperative is formed so that others at least benefit, at least others benefit. But this cooperative is formed for the benefits. Simply saying, it is formed especially for the benefit of the people or the common people, or generally especially the members itself. Sometimes even the members and non-members can also be benefited because of the cooperatives. Now see what are the features of a cooperative society. Let us see features. Features. First is voluntary membership. The cooperative society, in a cooperative, the membership is voluntary. Voluntary means there is no compulsion to become a member. You can, moreover, since there is no compulsion to become a member, moreover, there is no compulsion to remain as a member also. A member of a cooperative society can leave the cooperative at any time, as he wants, as he will, as when he wants. But generally it is preferable that members of a cooperative society should serve a notice before leaving the society. But they can leave the society at any point of time after existence, after they become a member, they can leave the society. Moreover, they can voluntarily join the cooperative and voluntarily leave the cooperative. The rules and regulations for the joining will be as that is mentioned in how to that. Means purchasing the shares of a cooperative, they can become a member, and then similarly by selling the shares also they can get or you can leave the cooperative. So it is compulsory, not compulsory to remain a member or to become a member of a cooperative. It is completely optional whether the person want to remain as a member or want to join a cooperative or not. It is up to him. Next is, you can say, legal status. A cooperative society has a legal status. Legal status because it is registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. It is registered. Cooperatives are to be compulsorily registered. It have to be registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912. It is registered. Since it is registered, so it provided distinct legal existence. It is a separate legal entity because it has a separate existence different from the members. Means it provides, since registration is there, it provided separate legal entity. It is a legal entity which can be sued and which can sue others also. So since registration is compulsory, so it becomes a legal entity. It is a distinct legal entity it has. Next is, you can say, limited liability is there. Limited liability. A cooperative society has limited liability. the liability of the member is limited to the amount of the share or to the amount of the capital which is contributed by the members in the society. Limited liability because the liability of the members who join the cooperative, their liability is limited to the amount of capital contributed. Capital contributed. The liability is limited to the member to the amount of capital contributed by the members in the cooperative. So it is the cooperative society provide limited liability. The liability of the members will be limited to the amount of the capital which has been provided or given to the cooperative as capital. Fourth, you can say that is control. The control of the cooperative lies in the hands of the managing committee. Managing committee. The control of a cooperative lies in the hand of the managing committee, and this managing committee is constituted by, you can say, the members. The members vote and the managing committee members get elected. On the basis of the vote of the members, the managing committee is elected, and this managing committee manages the business, manages the cooperative. So control of the committee, control of the cooperative lies in the hand of the members indirectly through the management committee. Means directly the management committee is there to look after the business or to look after the work of the cooperative society, and indirectly it is managed by the members because the members are there who elect the managing committee. So simply saying, there is a managing committee who looks after the control of the cooperative society. Now let's service motive is there. The cooperative society is formed for the service of the members, and sometimes it also serves the non-members also. Generally, the cooperative is formed for the benefit of the members only, but sometimes the cooperative even provide services to the non-members also. They can provide services to the non-members also, but generally the motive of the cooperative is to serve the members of the society. The society members, they get benefit because of the cooperative society, and they can also provide the benefit to the non-members also. Now let us come to the merits of cooperatives. Merits. Now, in case of cooperative, the merit of the cooperative society are many, because actually this is formed for the service, for providing service. The merit of this is, you can say, first of all, you can say equal voting right is there. There is equal, one person one vote. This is followed in case of a cooperative. Means in case of a cooperative, the members, those who contribute more capital or those who are contributing less capital, even if they have contributed different amount of capital in the cooperative, the vote will be one. There every individual will have only one vote. So there is equal voting right. So this is the merit of a cooperative. There is democracy is there in a cooperative society, because one man one vote is followed in case of a cooperative society. Capital contribution by the members is irrelevant. What is the amount of capital which is contributed, more or less, it does not matter. Every member have equal voting rights. So this is one of the merit of a cooperative society. There is democracy is followed in case of a cooperative. Now, there is limited liability also. That is one of the merits which we discussed in a future also. Limited liability. The liability of a member, which we have studied in the future also, the liability of the members of the cooperative is limited to the amount of capital contributed by the member. Just now I have written in the feature that the liability in case of cooperative is limited to the amount of capital which is contributed by the members. That is, if the cooperative suffers loss. If the cooperative suffers loss, then the members will not have to pay anything out of their personal property. Whatever capital they have contributed in the cooperative, that only will be the only loss they have to suffer. Other than this, their personal property will remain completely unaffected because of the loss of the cooperative if their loss occur or dissolution of the cooperative takes place in the future. Next, stability is there. Stability of the cooperative is there. Stability in the sense, even if members of the cooperative society leave, some members suppose leave or new members are joining, it does not affect the cooperative society at all. It continue as usual. Means as usual, the cooperative will continue to work. Even if some members are leaving, it will not affect the cooperative at all because other members will be there. Moreover, as we know, in case of a cooperative, the minimum number of members to form a cooperative is 10 also. Means if less than 10% is there in the cooperative, it has to be closed down. It has to close it. But if suppose there are 50 members or 100 members are there and few members leave, then also it will, the stability of the cooperative will continue and it will not have to close its business. So stability is there because coming or outgoing, if members are going out of the business or the member is coming into the business, joining the cooperative, so it will not suffer. Means the stability will not be, you can say there will be stability in the organization or stability will be there and it will not have to close down its business. Now next is economy of operation is there. Economy of operation. Economy in the sense that since the cooperative motive of the cooperative society is to serve the members, the motive of the cooperative society is to serve the member. Similarly, when the cooperative they hire employees also, so in case of hiring, honorarium is paid. Honorarium is paid means instead of full salary, full amount, honorarium, a part of the salary or very less amount is paid to the members, means to the worker who are working in the cooperative because their motive is to serve the society. Since they are not earning profit, so whosoever members, whosoever employees join the company, they also try to serve the members of the cooperative, and in this way whatever amount is paid to the worker in a cooperative, that is known as honorarium, and this honorarium is a fraction of the amount which should actually have been paid had the employees, had the worker worked in some other business organization. So in this way there is economy of operation because the worker of the cooperative societies are generally paid less than they what actually deserve. Now next is formation is easy. Formation is easy. Just now I told you that formation of the cooperative society is very easy because only 10 persons, minimum 10% is required and very less legal formalities are involved in formation of the cooperative societies, and they have only to apply to the register. You can say they have to get themselves registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 and get themselves registered. So formation of a cooperative society is easy, only consent of 10%. 10% are required, minimum 10% are there, and they have to apply to the corporate according to the rules as prescribed under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912 and get themselves registered. So it is very easy to form a cooperative. Now there are some demerits as well in case of cooperatives, that is demerits. Let's see what are they. First is that there is limited resources is there. Limited resources because limited resources in a cooperative, as we have studied just now, there is equal voting right. Means those who contribute more capital, or they have only also one vote, and those who are contributing less capital, they also have only one vote. So there is equal voting. So the person who joins a cooperative by becoming a member, they do not try to contribute more capital, because even if they give more capital to the company or to the society, their vote will be equal to 1. They will have only one vote. So capital contribution is generally, you can say, very less, because person generally join the cooperative and to become a member and do not try to contribute more capital, because even if he or she contribute more capital, he will have only one vote. So instead he will try to become a member by contributing minimum capital, so that he can have at least the benefit of the cooperative by becoming a member, and instead of contributing more capital, he will try to contribute less capital. So in this way there will be limited resources in the cooperative, and the business of the cooperative may suffer in this case. Now this is one of the limitation. Next you can say there is democracy is there. Democracy is there. Since there is democracy, so there is lack of secrecy is there. In a democracy, everything has to be clear. Every members know what is how the work of the cooperative is going on. Secrecy cannot be maintained. Secrecy in a cooperative cannot be maintained because everything has to be made available, or all the information, every information have to be communicated to all the members, and in this way secrecy in a cooperative cannot be maintained. Moreover, in the case of cooperative, there is government. You can say sometimes government also encourages the cooperative because of service motive of the cooperative. So there is sometimes government interference is also there. You can say government interference is there. Government interference. Government interference. In the merits also you can say that government, you can say government grant. You can write that the government also grant or government also provide some benefit because of the to the cooperative, because the motive of the cooperative is to serve the society, and since our government is also a socialist, so means the country is also a socialist, following the socialist pattern of society. So government also try to promote the cooperative because the motive of the society, the motive of the cooperative is to serve the society, as well as the motive of the government of India is also to serve the society. So in this way there is, but indirectly since the government is also providing some benefit, so indirectly the government try to interfere in the working of the cooperatives also. So there is interference from the government in the cooperative. So it is also one of the demerit also that the government, since if the government is providing some benefit, so it can also interfere in the benefit in the working of the cooperative also. Moreover, there is delayed decision, you can see. Delayed decision. Delayed decision, but because as we know in a cooperative there is democracy is followed, means one person one vote is there, and there is a, since there is a managing committee is there. So in case of cooperative, all the management, you can say the managing committee have to be discussed every time some decision is to be taken. The management committee, they discuss this every time some important decision is to be taken, and if there are usually there will be more than one member will be there. Managing committee, there will be few members will be there to there in the management committee, and there may be a difference of opinion can be there. And if there is difference of opinion, decision making get delayed. Since there will be number of members will be there in the managing committee, and differences of opinion may arise because more number of members are there, means differences of opinion will be there, and if difference in opinion is there, delayed decision will be there. It will affect the cooperative because the decision of the member or the decision can be taken can be delayed because there will be some dispute or differences of opinion will be there. Then again there is again you can say inefficiency. Inefficient management also you can say. Inefficient management. The management of a cooperative is generally inefficient because as I have discussed just now that the management economy of operation is there in the merit. The worker or the employees in a cooperative, they are paid on a radium. The full salary they do not get, but a part of fraction of the salary only they will be getting. So if you provide a fraction of the salary, not a full salary which a person deserves for the kind of job they are doing in the organization, you cannot get good people, management people you will not be getting. Good people you will not be getting because you are giving on a radium. The full salary you are not getting. If you are giving less amount of money or less salary, less wages to your employees or worker, so you cannot expect that good management people will be coming or joining the cooperative. So there will be inefficiency in the management of a cooperative. This is all about the many features, merits and demerits of cooperative society.